Hey, it's Book and His Boss. I'm Pat Caputo, sports columnist for the Oakland Press. This is my boss, sports editor Jeff Kuhn. We're here every week at the oaklandpress.com and at micentral.com. And Jeff, I know that you're thinking to yourself, you wish you had a Cy Young Award this year and vote, because you'd vote for Todd Jones, right?
Yeah, having just watched the 9th inning of the game today, he's exactly got my vote. Comes in and blows the. Actually, he's pitched okay, Pat. He's not the problem. He's had a good year, 16 out of 17 saves, right?
Yeah, but lately he's been pitching a lot, as Rod Allen would say, the Tigers broadcaster, to contact.
I love that, pitching to contact.
Pitch to contact.
Ball goes 300.
But what's the difference? Is it contact, or there's a difference between contact and smashing the ball?
That's right.
I mean, I know Matt Joyce made an error, but it's every time he comes in now, it just seems like, I mean, it's one thing to be a roller coaster, it's another thing to be a death drop, and he hasn't done very well lately. Do you think maybe he should go to Zumaya? Zumaya seems to be getting his act together.
That's what I was going to ask you, our baseball expert, on that. What do you think?
I don't think Leland's going to go to Zumaya for a while. I think he's going to stick with Todd Jones, for a long time. Todd will have to be really bad. Oh, Todd Jones is our closer. That's what he'll keep saying. And but eventually it would be. But it's not a good sign that all of a sudden he can't close games.
Well, that and Rodney hasn't exactly come in and off his injury and held down the fort for the 9th inning to come. So.
Yeah, here's some advice for Jim Lynn. Don't use Fernando Rodney in either the 8th or 9th inning. 7th inning, maybe. 6th inning, maybe. Go with Dulce and Joel Zumaya as a setup guys. Honestly, I mean, I don't think anybody would disagree with me out there, would they? So, but anyway, this Rich Rodriguez thing seems to be starting to hit ahead of Michigan. Evidently, they finally figured out that they weren't going to get away with not paying that $4 million, and they finally paid it. Michigan paying $2.5 million, and Rich Rodriguez $1.5 million out of his pocket. What I can't figure out is what were they fighting for? Were they figured he got this extra part to his contract? They put that in his contract to sweeten his deal, and then when he leaves, he's not supposed to pay it?
Right. And what did Michigan think, that this would just go away? I mean, that's the thing. They knew right from the get-go, right from up front. Nobody was hiding anything.
Right from Jump Street.
There's a buyout clause here, and for some reason they're thinking that maybe they don't have to pay it. I don't quite get that. You know me, I'm right down the middle. I don't show.
No, you're not. You're a Michigan fan.
I don't show.
You are. You're like an unabashed Michigan fan, which is embarrassing. He's our sports editor.
No, right down the middle. But we
I'm
all
right
know the clause was there from day one, and I'm just glad it's finally over. But Michigan's got to take some heat for this, because.
Well, I thought it was embarrassing. Look, Michigan is above this. I mean, I've always looked at them as being above it. They're a great academic school, perhaps the best academic public university in the country, certainly among them. And then their football program has been above reproach for the most part. A few minor incidents, but compared to other programs, come on. And then this just kind of soiled it a little bit. I thought it was shady.
It definitely did. But I love Mark D'Antonio getting his shot in on broadcast last night. I don't know if you heard it, but D'Antonio saying, he's just proud all summer. He hasn't heard a peep out of any of his guys this summer. A direct knock at Kevin Grady in his DUI charge.
Yeah, but he better be careful, because he might hear a peep out of his players at some point.
Yeah,
you never want to be bragging about that.
That's right.
But, yeah, the Kevin Grady thing wasn't good either. If one of the top recruits in the entire country, had been hurt, had been a disappointment before that, looked like he was finally going to get back into the rotation, and then to have that happen. And I wonder what kind of message Rich Rodriguez is going to send. That's a dicey thing for a coach. You got to take care of the kid. You don't want to be unfair to the kid. Yet on the other hand, you don't want the perception that you're going to just let things like that go.
Right.
So I'll be interested to see how he handles it.
Right.
The Pistons, I keep waiting for Joe Dumars to do everything. He's talked all this big talk and everything. It seems like the whole world's passing him by. What are your thoughts on that?
He had his opportunity. I mean, the problem with Joe is he came out and talked a big game, as you've mentioned, and then did nothing. Well, now teams know Joe wants to do something, so it hasn't been in the past where he could sneak up and make that deal behind closed doors. Now everything's out in the open, and that's not a way to negotiate. And I think, frankly, he's put himself in a situation that if he makes any deals, as you've mentioned before, it's not going to make the team any better than they already had going in. it's a tough place to be in. But I think Joe missed an opportunity there at the draft to pull the string on something. And, he said he talked a big game but did nothing.
We'll see. It's still a lot of the offseason to go. The free agent signing period technically has really just started. But I just don't – they don't need guards.
Well, like
they need
before,
a big guy. And
this,
Rasheed Wallace is better than any of the big guys that are out there, yet that's not an ideal thing to have him back the way he's melted down.
Maybe the best thing they did was hire an assistant coach who's basically Rasheed's coach, because as Rasheed goes, so goes the Pistons. In the last 2 years, he let them down in those game sixes.
We'll see how it goes. I just don't want to see them trade somebody just to trade them. I don't want to see them cut in off their nose and spite their face.
Can't do that.
And yet, on the other hand, they obviously need to do something. I think Joe Dumars is between a rock and a hard place. It is a catch-22 situation for the man. But anyway, enjoyed it. The real American Idol, Jim Martinez, is behind the camera today. People saw him in front of the camera before. More hits on YouTube than anybody else. Probably all of Jim Martinez's relatives.
It's the way that he can twist the knobs too on YouTube and get people.
Yeah, it's just all of a sudden Jim Martinez shows up and it's like 6,000 hits above anything you and I do. I find that to be somewhat shady. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll have to double check on that.
We'll investigate.
Yeah, but until next week, it's the Book and His Boss. I'm Pat Caputo. Don't forget to check out our blogs. Jim Hawkins, the baseball blog. Dave Burkett's Lions blog. Paula Pash with the Big Ten. Bruce McLeod with the Red Wings. And don't forget about the Scooter, Dana Garuder, and his blog about the Pistons that we talked about here a little bit. Until next week, we'll see you. It's the Book and His Boss. He's Jeff Kuhn, the sports editor. I'm Pat Caputo. I'm the knuckle-headed columnist. We'll see you.